Hey Moon Magic Super Souls, welcome back to the channel and welcome anyone who's new here. Your future self has a message about your purpose. So let us draw 3 cards today and some runes as well and a charm, and we will see what we are shown. This came through so clearly in my meditations earlier today. A message from your future self about your purpose. So let's look at these cards first of all. So we have pile 1. You have North. This is the card for pile 1. Pile 2. You have East. How interesting. 2 directions, North and East. Okay. And for pile 3, we have Plant Medicine. Okay, now let's draw some runes, some charms as well for each of the piles. I know some of you like a little bit of additional guidance. So pile 1, we have the rune of Gateway. Pile 2, we have the rune of Isa. This is ice. And pile 3, we have the rune of Fertility. Okay, pile 1, you have an arrow, very direct arrow. Pile 2. Oh wow, this is beautiful. You have a little cat sitting in the moon. And pile 3, you have a turtle. Okay. So beautiful souls. Sit with your intuition, listen to whichever of these cards, runes, charms is really speaking to you. If you find it's more than one, then check out both readings, because it's not uncommon actually for more than one message to come through sometimes. So it can be really, really worth just tuning in with more than one reading if you're really undecided. And for some people it literally is all 3. But your future self has a message about your purpose, about your calling. So beautiful souls, I'm going to leave the video running for just a few minutes longer, just to give you a little bit of extra time if you need it. I will put the timestamps into the description box, and also I'll put them in a pinned comment as well, so phone users, you can find them really easily as well. And I will see you beautiful souls in the readings in just one moment. Welcome pile 1. You have the card of the North, and it also says Solitude, and I see this very clear direct arrow, and also the rune of Gateway. Now really I do wish to draw more cards, but my first big message that's coming through from your future self is an assurance that you are on track. I think that with the element of solitude, that you may actually need to just take a little bit of time out from being so goal-driven, so directed. You're on track. I feel like your future self is saying, look, this is going to come together. It's going to happen. You are moving in the direction of your North Star. Your purpose, your calling is emerging. Somehow there is a need to stop and review. Maybe you are working far too much in isolation, remaining on that pathway with such dedication, which is so beautiful and gorgeous, but I am not sure if it's entirely serving you. Let's draw cards and see what else we're shown. We'll draw some oracle cards. I'm seeing those two coming straight from this pack. And I think an angel card as well we will draw from. Yes, definitely this one. And an affirmation card as well. I definitely wish to use an affirmation for you today. Let's look at those and then we'll draw some tarot cards as well. So your affirmation is, I am in perfect balance. I almost want to slightly chuckle because I think this is kind of an acknowledgement that maybe your work-life balance isn't entirely in balance, and your future self is saying, look, hang on a minute, this is going to happen anyway. This is totally going to happen anyway. Bring yourself back into balance. Take time out. You don't have to work in solitude all of the time like this. There are other priorities, other things coming in for you as well. Let's move these lovely pendulums out of our way and put this card here. Then we have Angel of Decisions. Okay. This is getting interesting now. And we also have, yes, oh, there's 3 cards. I didn't realize you had 3. We have Slow and Steady. We have Dry Desert, and we have One Ring Circus. Okay. Your reading is making complete sense to me, pile 1. I think you have truly, honestly been through a period which has been quite dry, literally. You know, when we talk about things drying up, like ideas drying up, or, I mean, basically, I think you've had to work unbelievably hard to be where you are. It's this solitude, it's this one ring circus, being that one-man band that has to create everything. We have a crescent moon here. In a way, in all honesty, beautiful pile 1, you're at the top of your game here, really. In terms of your calling, your purpose, this is a time when things are seriously going to come together. And all of your efforts, all of the stuff you've done in the past is coming to fruition. But slow and steady is the name of the game. I think you're seeing stuff coming through. Even in this card of decisions, we can see this little bubble which says ideas, light bulb moments here. I think you are full of ideas, and in many ways you're in a really good space of creative flow, potentially. But I think there is a danger you could sort of dry up your own ideas and your own flow simply by being, or trying to be, too directive, too focused. I was watching something really interesting actually earlier that is really coming to mind now. It was on the Gaia channel to do with channeling. I was curious to watch this series, and they were talking about that place of flow, that place of creativity, and how we often think of channeling when we are channeling messages or when people are channeling other beings speaking through them. But they were really broadening that space and saying when a writer is in flow, they are channeling. It comes from nowhere. It comes out of the blue. Stuff just comes to them. And I think you're in a place where you've worked incredibly hard, unbelievably hard. You've overcome some really significant stuff to be where you are today. You've gone without stuff to get to where you are today. There's been some tough decisions to make along the way, but you've actually remained true to your core values, your core integrity. It's kind of like at a level of soul. You are the kind of person who recognizes that honesty, integrity is more important than the stuff of life somehow. You've stood up for what you believe in. You've held true to your purpose, your calling, which ultimately is to follow that true pathway of a soul within a human journey, really striving for higher levels of consciousness. Big respect to you. I can see how hard you've worked. I can see that you've gone without. I can see that you've stood up for things. Now is actually a point in time when it's as if the rewards are going start to come in. It's all going to come together. But it's going to come together better if your world is in balance. You don't have to be in solitude. I think you've already stood up to and parted company from some people and some circumstances that weren't really resonating. And it was a tough call to make those decisions. That's what I'm seeing here. Let's draw from a tarot pack for you. May we have information, please, from your future self. What does your future self want to really tell you, pile 1? I am seeing this and this and this and this. Okay, beautiful pile 1. 2 of Swords. Do you know, of all the packs I use, I think this must be the most creative 2 of Swords that I know of. It's as if, regardless of feeling like it's not so much wading through treacle, but it's like somehow it's like the power of his mind means that he can walk through water and navigate it. You've really had to stay on course and you have had to be very focused, but it's actually time for you to receive. We have the 6 of Cups. Yes, we do. It is time for you to receive. We have the 6 of Cups and the 9 of Pentacles and the Chariot and the King of Wands. Yes, we do. What a beautiful, beautiful set of cards for you. I am in perfect balance. It's time for you to receive in a personal way. This is going to come together. Your purpose, your calling, whatever you are working at, it's coming together anyway. Slow and steady wins the race. I get the impression that there's something quite big and very unique to you that you are working at with this one ring circus. Some project, some venture, some idea. It's very unique to you. And yes, maybe it does feel a bit solitary to walk that pathway with what you're generating. And yes, you do have to be focused. For sure you do. But this will flow forwards far more if you also take time out, accept help. It's not necessarily even help with your project. I think in some ways it is something that you kind of hold the reins of with One Ring Circus. But it shouldn't be at the exclusion of all else. Slow and steady wins the race. If you take time out to look after yourself, the 9 of Pentacles, she can take care of herself. She can stop and smell the roses, listen to the birds singing. And her achievements, her manifestations move forwards with ease. I think you're going to get a very dynamic outcome to whatever it is that you are working on. Your future self is making it very, very clear here. The message is you will achieve without having to push and strive. I understand why you feel you have to, because you've been through an experience of lack. You've been through periods when life was really tough and you did have to go it alone. And so in a way that residue, that memory is in you, and it's causing you to almost be too focused on what you're doing. Your future self is saying this will happen, this will succeed, slow and steady wins the race, take time out. Live life in balance, and this will emerge more easily and more fluidly. It will actually emerge faster. This is one of those scenarios when, having put your intent, purpose, desire out there, now is the time to work at it in a way where you are working on the basis of allowing. Practice the art of allowing, your future self is saying, and that involves also allowing yourself to receive, to cherish your own self-care, your own well-being, and everything will move forwards, and I think at quite a pace, curiously enough. It's almost as though if you invest a slow and steady energy, this will take on a life of its own and emerge. Beautiful pile 1. I'm loving your reading. I'm loving your reading. Take time to smell the roses, and also take time with the rune of gateway to recognize if you are pushing, that part of what is driving you forwards is to do with the fears that came from ever having to go through some things that you have already gone through, the difficulties of the past. But now is the time to allow yourself to receive and practice the art of allowing in every possible way. This is the message from your future self. Also acknowledging you are on track with your purpose. Whatever stage you're at, whatever you are working at, it is absolutely what you should be doing. You are following your North Star. Pile 1, loving your reading. Thank you so much for joining me today, and thank you for connecting in with the Moon Magic Tarot channel. I do a couple of these pick a card readings every week. I put up shorts and various other things as well, and always a reading for weekly guidance on Sundays too. So do check out my other readings. Thank you for being here. If you're interested in my all zodiac sign readings, they are posted on Patreon, which is a different platform. It works on donations. You can give as little or as much as you wish. Beautiful souls, I'm just sending you so much love. I'm really almost wanting to literally smell the roses with you, see you, relax, unwind, and just love your life, so that joy then comes into the dedicated, focused work that you are simultaneously doing. My beautiful Pile 1, loving you so much, and I look forward to seeing you for some other readings soon. Thank you so much as well for liking, sharing and subscribing. Tons of love to you all. Hey, Pile 2, welcome to your reading. You have the card of the East, and it also says emergence. With this little kitty cat, beautiful little cat, sitting in a crescent moon. Crescent moons are all about new beginnings. The East energy is also all about new beginnings. I keep hearing when the blackbird sings. When the blackbird sings, it just keeps coming in, and the rune of ice, standstill. I feel like you're waiting for something. Now, either you're already involved in your calling and your purpose, and you're waiting for something to enable you to take that next step, or you're waiting for it to emerge because you're not actually sure what it is yet. But you're definitely in a waiting zone. I think we must draw more cards and find out what we are being shown here. Let's draw some oracle cards for you first. I'm actually seeing both of those as well. And I'm going to draw you an affirmation card too. There's your card. Oh, you've got two there. Two have come out for you, beautiful souls. And we'll draw an angel card as well. That's yours. Okay, so first of all, we have Angel of Soulmates. This is very interesting. Then we have your two cards. First of all, I am in perfect balance. Okay, and then we have this card that says, I am open and receptive to the abundant flow of prosperity that the universe offers. All my needs and desires are met before I even ask. I'm very fascinated that this is like a sun and a moon. And the East is like a new dawn. And this is balance, harmony. And this is Angel of Soulmates. What else do we have here? Slow and steady. How fascinating. You can't rush this. This is what I'm hearing. You can't rush this. When the blackbird sings, and I'm seeing two blackbirds here, and they are definitely a couple, because actually with blackbirds, I think it is only the male blackbird that is actually black and the female blackbird is actually brown, or that's in the UK here anyway. Sacred pool. You're still in a space of dreaming. So something of your purpose is to do with love. It's to do with relationships. Now, I suspect that we all have many layers of purpose in our life. And in our goal-driven world, it's very easy to associate purpose always with work and those kinds of things, our calling being the stuff we do at work. I think part of your soul's purpose is actually to find love, balance, harmony within relationship. Now, you're either in a new relationship and you're waiting for it to emerge, it's feeling stuck. Perhaps it isn't moving as fast as you want. If you're in an existing relationship, I think that relationship itself might be feeling a little bit stuck. Maybe it's got a bit stale. Something isn't really feeling like it's flourishing anymore. And if you're single and looking for love, I think you may actually also be in a place where you've begun to wonder if it will ever happen. Something within relationship here, and it is to do with soulmates and purpose. Your future self is saying, don't let this get you down. I am open and receptive to the abundant flow of prosperity that the universe offers. This is an affirmation from your future self that this will happen. This dream of the life you desire in connection, in partnership with a soulmate will happen. So whether this is an existing connection with someone that isn't really working or it's not moving forwards very fast, you will get the relationship you desire. You will get that soulmate connection. May we have additional information, please, for pile 2. In a way, you're being asked to immerse yourself with Sacred Pool in that energy of the law of attraction, where you immerse yourself in believing that you have it already, rather than going down the road of those kind of demons in your mind, where you tell yourself it's never going to happen or it won't work. It's like immersing yourself in that space of believing it to be real already. I'm going to draw those cards and we will look at these. What are we shown here? 4 of Cups. There's a sense of despondency, of something being offered and I'm getting all tongue-tied. An inability, that's the word I'm looking for. I was about to say an unableness, but that doesn't really exist. An inability to receive. Yes, I am open and receptive to the abundant flow of prosperity. There's something in you that is not yet able to receive. You really, really want it, but there's something that's actually blocking you at the moment. And I think it's from within. We have the 10 of Wands. Maybe you're just carrying too much of a burden, too much weight, too much of a sense of responsibility. I need to ask more about this card, I think. We have the Ace of Coins. Okay, and then we have the 6 of Coins. Yes, with the 10 of Wands and the 6 of Coins as well. I think you've had a relationship in the past where someone took more than their fair share, okay? And let me put this up here. I want to make some room for all our cards. Yeah, I think you've been in some kind of relationship where somebody took more than their fair share. You've carried too much responsibility in relationships, more than your fair share, full stop. In fact, for you, I think relationships generally have potentially been on occasions quite a burden. Some of you will have literally grown up being leaned upon or being needed. And I think there's a part of you that is anxious about allowing yourself to receive for fear that someone will come in and kind of be quite needy or take more than their fair share again. You're longing for this, but at the same time you're fearful of it. That's what I'm being shown here. Because you have a lot to give. You have a vast amount to give. Now the key here is actually discernment. The key here is discernment. This King of Coins, isn't it funny? I saw it as an Ace of Coins. How interesting. It's a King of Coins. Yes, discernment. I saw the one coin. Isn't that interesting that my mind immediately, oh, of course, we do have the Ace of Coins. Isn't this interesting? I muddled my words. I'm muddling my cards. You're in a muddle. Yes. I feel that these things always happen in a reading with purpose. I almost want to say you are in a bit of a muddle. I think you're worried about how to interpret things. Can you tell whether somebody is really offering you a genuine new beginning, or are they going to be someone who will actually be a burden and take from you? There's quite a lot of difficulty around this. In a way, there's quite a few demons, you know, in your head to do with relationship. And it's making it quite hard for you to see clearly. What is also very clear is it's actually quite hard for you to allow yourself to be vulnerable, actually, here. And I want to say with good reason, my beautiful pile 2. It's understandable. You've had a tough time within relationships somewhere before. You've been either used, taken advantage of. There's some stuff that's gone on. If you're in an existing relationship and something isn't quite right, I think you're worrying about whether or not it can move forwards or how best to move it forwards. If you're in the beginnings of a new relationship, again, you're worrying about whether or not this is going to repeat a pattern. If you're single and you're really longing for love, a part of you is still really worried about whether it can ever happen, but also you're worried about, can you dare to allow someone in and be vulnerable? Because if you have a new beginning, you know, are they going to be trustworthy? Will they want more than you wish to give? Will they be respectful of your boundaries? Your future self is suggesting that you should allow yourself to be vulnerable, be really honest about how you feel, rather than closing off to people and to possibility. Be honest, but also be discerning. The King of Coins is very solid in his capacity to make decisions and choices. He has life experience. Immerse yourself in the potential of what you really want. This is what your future self is saying. Because part of your purpose is to find balance and happiness within a relationship. There may be other purposes in your world to do with your working world or projects that you are creating, other aspirations that you have. We all have many different layers of purpose, but for you, being in an equal, balanced, healthy relationship of giving and receiving, knowing you can say both yes and no and deserve to have your boundaries respected, is a part of your current purpose. To learn that, to immerse yourself in possibility without being fearful of the past, and giving yourself the opportunity to take it slow and steady, rather than rushing into it or rejecting the idea of this altogether, rejecting the idea of something being either healed or moving forwards, whichever way that goes. But however we are looking at this, if there's an existing relationship that's not happening, even if it comes to parting company, you can still do it well and it makes room for the new. Right now, your future self is saying you can risk loving, you can risk allowing yourself to receive. Indeed, if you are prepared to allow yourself to receive, to open yourself to that possibility, you're going to actually find the connection that you desire. I'm loving the light, the strands of light coming through here, filtering through. Look at that onto my hand. We can see it's coming through to these cards here. I am seeing a huge amount of success with the King of Coins. Don't over worry, don't burden yourself, don't feel like you have to look after everyone and feel that everyone will be a taker. There will be people in the world who do take more than their fair share. It's the drains and radiator scenario. You know, I think beautifully giving, loving, generous people like you, I am seeing that in you. You naturally take responsibility for things. You can be put upon. You are a radiator. And if you meet another radiator, well, then you're going to be in heaven. But if you meet a drain, then they're going to take far more than their fair share. So, my beautiful radiators, get to it, have boundaries, take it slow and steady, know that you can ask for what you want and you can choose to say both yes and no. Keep your own energy and what you desire in balance, and I think the stuckness will cease. At the moment, it feels like there's a stuck energy which is rooted in the fear of something going wrong again, or of a pattern being repeated. But slow and steady, gentle progression, one step at a time, with you very much in charge of the choices and decisions for your world. That is what your future self is saying to you, and acknowledging that being in an equal, balanced, happy relationship, a soulmate connection, is a part of your purpose. It's one of the many layers of your purpose. And you've probably experienced some difficult relationships in order to address and resolve maybe even some genetic stuff in your lineage or historic stuff that needed to be processed, even from past lives, so that you could reach a point where you were available to receive. When the blackbird sings the sweetest of songs. And they really do. I have a blackbird that sings every morning from the same tree in my neighbour's garden, and it is beautiful. And of course, that's the dawn, the east energy, a new dawn, a new beginning. You need to sing your own song. This is what your future self is saying. Be yourself. Don't accommodate everyone else. Be who you are, slow and steady, own your vulnerability, put down the demons. Don't push everyone out. You can be discerning, you can say yes and no. And as you do that, your energy will be so aligned to receiving love that this will happen and it will emerge within your life. It is beautiful. Beautiful, but it's about you taking charge, saying yes and no appropriately. My beautiful pile 2, I love your reading. I didn't expect this. We never know, of course, when we do a reading, what will this be about? Will it be about, when we think of purpose, will it be about a career or a distinct something that you're supposed to do or receive? And it's all about love. It's all about love. And that's a part of your bigger purpose, your soul's purpose. It's wonderful. Pile 2, I'm loving your reading. Thank you so much for joining me. This is one of several pick a card readings that I post every week, along with some shorts, and also I always post a big reading on Sundays for weekly guidance where we get an immediate message from Spirit. And do tune in if you would like to check out any of my readings, and if you subscribe and press the little bell icon, they should come into your stream. So thank you for liking, sharing, subscribing. Thank you all of you who give back through the super comments, the super thanks in the comments. Thank you to those of you who are also on Patreon with me, where I do my all zodiac sign readings and some tutorials. Thank you, beautiful souls. It is an honor and a privilege to walk with you, and I'm loving that love is you. It's like love is your purpose. That's what you need to have, and yeah, that's what you need to have. Love is your purpose. Allow yourself to receive. Your message from your future self is so clear. It's absolutely delightful. Beautiful pile 2. Have a wonderful, wonderful week. Keep us posted here, and I look forward to seeing you again for some other readings really soon. Pile 3, welcome to your reading. You have plant medicine, truth, and the turtle, and fertility. I feel a really big message is already coming through. Obviously, we need to draw cards to really clarify this, but I feel like your future self is asking you to admit the truth to yourself about something you really, 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 really want. It's almost as if you think it would be too big a dream to believe in, or it couldn't really be possible. There's something around this truth, admitting and acknowledging the truth. And your future self is kind of saying, look, acknowledge what you really, really want and then go for it. You can have this, but something has to happen with the rune of fertility for you to then literally fertilize the ground for your own deliverance. We better draw cards before I say too much, but that is a message that is definitely coming through. It may be relevant to some, but not all. This is obviously a general reading. Yes, I'm going with that card. Let's draw an affirmation for you as well. May we have an affirmation for pile 3, please? Yes. I am deeply loved by the universe. Can you see this? It's quite hard to see. I almost feel that's quite relevant. Here we go. I think that's now showing up. Look how balanced and almost abundant that is. This line of moons lining up. And this is like a complete moon cycle. And these hands are there just around the, I mean, the moon is all about manifesting. We can manifest with the energy of the moon. That is something I personally am very, very into. I am deeply loved by the universe. What do you believe you can't have? It is almost as though it's in the shadows and I'm having to pick it up to illuminate it for you. Oh, I'm just going to draw an angel card as well before I turn those over. May we have a card, an angel card for my beautiful pile 3, please? I am seeing this one. Angel of Remembrance. Okay. Can you dare allow yourself to have the one thing you really, really want? I almost feel there's guilt around you. Okay, we have Bone Collector. We have Coming Apart. And we have Wishing Well. I'm actually loving your cards. I'm loving your cards, pile 3. I really, really am. This is so full of hope and possibility. So, starting back with that primary message that was coming through, which is admit the truth to yourself and allow yourself to believe that you can have what you want. Several different messages are coming through. It is a general reading, so I'm just going to voice these because some will apply to some of you and others to others. I do think for some of you, you have actually lost someone. And part of your purpose at this moment in time is to allow yourself to believe that you can actually start again. You can have that. Now for others, I think you have experienced some difficulties, you've been brought up having to wear a mask or be someone you weren't, or you're made to feel guilty if you were to have anything for yourself, or your self-esteem was not supported in any way, your self-worth, your entitlement. Everything in your reading is saying you need to come apart from something, come away from something, a belief, a perspective that is currently stopping you from being able to fulfill your purpose. And your purpose actually in this moment, this is why it's so delightful, is to let yourself have what you really, really want. There's something you really want. It's like it's in the background, it's in the shadows. You're not allowing it to be illuminated. There's something you want to have, you want to bring to fruition. And some part of you is constantly saying, oh, that'll never happen, or I can't have that, or I should or I shouldn't. Masks, I'm seeing masks here and here. Take off the mask that you believe you had to wear. You are a whole, amazing person. Your future self is saying, your purpose right now is to give yourself complete and utter permission to have what you want, to have what you desire. And there are ancestors around some of you really rooting for you, really rooting for you and saying, it's interesting actually, there's an apology, a sorry coming in from some of you will have had someone who actually possibly was really quite harsh and quite critical to you, an ancestor, a relative, someone who looked after you, who was really quite limiting of your growth. And I'm hearing a very strong message of, it's like an apology, that circumstances were such they didn't really know any better. They were acting out in a way that was connected to their own history. They were sort of, I want to almost say, doing the wrong things for the right reasons. You know, when somebody really limits your horizons, or what's that saying to do with dampening your fireworks? So there's something of that went on. You were put down and people didn't believe in your dreams, and it's like you're still carrying it. It's time to come apart from that, to let go of that, see the truth, see that you are deserving of fertilizing the ground for your own deliverance, of having what you want. Everything in this reading is saying this. Your future self is really saying, dare to dream, dare to wish, let go of this. You are a whole person. You have everything in you that you need to have what you desire and you deserve. Let's draw some tarot cards for you, my beautiful pile 3. Yes, we have the 5 of Pentacles. Then we have the Fool. Then we have the, loving your cards. We have the 8 of Wands. And we have the Ace of Cups. Yes. And we have the Queen of Cups. Loving your reading, loving your reading. So, disappointment, hurt, feeling like you're trapped, you can't really ever be fully yourself. And for those of you who have lost someone, heartbreaking. For some it was a heartbreaking loss. It left you feeling shattered and as if you could never, ever, ever almost return to life again. Fascinating, strong connections coming through from the other side, which of course plant medicine helps us with. Tribal peoples, shamanic peoples, well, lots of peoples have been using plants to see through the veil for hundreds, thousands of years. Using plants to transform our vision, to see through the illusion, to see what is really real. For those of you that have lost someone, that someone is saying to you, it's time to start again. You can start again. It doesn't mean you're being disloyal. It means that you are being loyal because you are celebrating who they were by choosing to embrace life again. Very clear message. For those of you that were put down by somebody who's passed away, or for some of you, you might have been put down in your childhood, but maybe somebody, a grandparent or someone, knew you were being put down but felt powerless to help you. That's coming through here too. It's time for you to ditch any loyalty to the belief systems in that instance that you are still carrying that stop you from believing in yourself. With the 8 of Wands, it's time to move. Take action. Go for gold. Go for what you want. Go for what will make you happy. Go for what will make your heart sing. Celebrate yourself. The Queen of Cups, I mean, she's the queen of self-love. She's full of emotional happiness and health and well-being and joy. And because she's in flow, she has a lot to give as well. Your purpose, right here and right now, pile 3, is to give yourself 1000% permission to believe that you can have what you want and to go for it. Take the necessary actions to go for it, to make it real, whatever that is for you. And so many messages coming through from the other side in support of you, letting go of the past here and entering a space of new beginnings. The timing is right for you with this clock here. This really is saying, look, your wish can come true, but you have to actually make it. It's one of those you've got to be in it to win it moments, which means leaving behind anything that, any beliefs, any connections to the past that you feel are in the way of you being able to move forward. It's time for a new beginning. It really is. Take action now. Make it happen. Believe. Place that wish. If you have a wishing well anywhere near you, go place that wish. This is absolutely beautiful. There is so much love and support. It's like bringing this potential for manifestation out of the shadows and into the light. I am deeply loved by the universe and deeply loved by those on the other side who are rooting for you. Very distinct apologies going on for some of you here, wishing they could have done more, or wishing, some even just wishing they'd given you a better role model. It's really interesting. Someone was telling me just the other day they were having a conversation with someone, and he said he had been told, he grew up, I can't think where it was, very sort of third world country, and I can't remember exactly the location, because what she was actually telling me, the message was, he had been brought up being told, if you are the son of a fisherman, you will be a fisherman. That was the extent of his horizons, and he just said, I didn't want to be a fisherman. And it's very interesting because that story coming to mind now is so relevant to this, because even though he's done well for himself, it's always as if there's like a glass ceiling that he never quite moves beyond. She, my friend, is a coach, a mentor. She's mentoring a certain group of people within a management setting and identifying these glass ceilings, and this was his. That was what he was told, and even though he's gone so far in his career, it's as if he can never quite take the final step, because he just doesn't believe that really he could ever be allowed it. There's almost an anxiety deep within him that says if you dare to have it, it'll be taken away from you. So this is the kind of flavour of the messages, but your future self is acknowledging these and saying to you, it's time for you to break through that glass ceiling, take action, move beyond any doubts or any concerns or any emotional stuff that stop you from believing and indeed taking the actions necessary to have what you want. And this is actually your purpose. It's like a soul growth purpose, a human growth purpose, to overcome this particular difficulty. So wherever that then takes you, to your goal, to your dream, to your desire, you are fulfilling your purpose by stepping up into your fullest potential, whatever that is for you. Pile 3, your reading is gorgeous. I'm so rooting for you. I really, really am. Beautiful souls, thank you so much for joining me. If this is resonating with you, do subscribe, like, share. It's wonderful to have you here. It's wonderful to read for you. I post a couple of pick a card readings every week, some shorts, also a very big pick a card reading every Sunday for immediate weekly guidance, and a ton of other stuff, including Manifest with the Moon stuff, a moon update every month that tells you all about the lunar energy and how that might be affecting you. If you're interested in that kind of stuff, I'm fascinated by manifesting with the moon. So yeah, do check out other things. If you subscribe and press the little bell icon, everything should come into your stream as I post it. And you know, or otherwise do just keep on checking out the Moon Magic Tarot homepage to see what I am uploading and when I do so. Beautiful souls, I'm sending you so much love. I'm really rooting for you. It's a fab reading for you, with your future self giving you such a thumbs up. Beautiful souls, tons of love, and I look forward to seeing you for some other readings. Thank you all once again for being here.